Hello, fellow toolboxers. Thanks for joining us. Episode 311. Thank you for your patience and coming back. I've been out of commission to a certain extent when it comes to toolbox stuff for the last couple of months. Um, that I share because we have a lot of people reaching out, wanting to do stuff and, courses, conferences, all this kind of stuff. But I was just overwhelmed with things. So I want to talk about that. So I want to thank all listeners, all the sponsors, been patient with it. Hope you have some good content coming out really soon. We have a bunch of recordings that just haven't been posted. Well, I guess what really happened is one is just getting the office together, my personal office, which was a solo lifestyle kind of law firm, to make it into a real business that operates on its own, and that's a complex thing to do. Set it up and try to set it up right so that the quality of service and speed of service and caring in your service continues. It's not just me; it's like 8 people working together, doing keep the same standard. So that's been a big thing. And kind of in line with that, I really recommend you all look at your different systems, whatever we do, whether you're solo or big firm, and reanalyze that in the tech because everything's changing so much. And there's so much to learn and do in this field. Essentially, for the last like 4 months, other than just being constantly having a cold because of steady flow of viruses that my little kids bring into the house, which kind of knocks you out all the time. Um, it just been studying technology when it comes to office management and communication, all this kind of stuff. My New Year's resolution was to spend an hour or two each week to just do demos and talk with different technology providers. But I got a couple services and spending 9 days studying internal softwares, and it's really kind of obnoxious because once you get into it, you find glitches, and it's hard for them to fix it. And then you look at the competitor, and they don't have that glitch, but they have this other glitch that the other one doesn't have. So it's never like a perfect fit. Inevitably, whenever you get one software, I'm like, oh, cool. I don't have to buy this extra stuff. This all in one. It's like, no, the all in one, it doesn't work. They'll be really good at one thing and then okay at other things, or sometimes just really bad at other things that you would think they would just have a basic level is all you need, but they're really bad at that. So it's a frustrating process, but it's necessary as we're diving into this new technological world. And I was actually watching a podcast. James Pittman from DocWise, he started a great podcast, and Greg Siskin was on there. It was a 2 month ago podcast, and it's just fascinating what he's doing with the work. And kind of, it's like the future I'm looking for, having a firm and have all these technology and information companies on the side that the firm feeds into and the staff feed into and the team members feed into. So it's just interesting seeing in the immigration space, aim at, think of what direction you want to go. When I see him, when I see Charles Cook and, he does farming and all this kind of stuff, and he's with his wife and traveling and family and stuff, really paints a good picture of what a great practice area this is. So I wanted to share that. So I get just the behind the scenes of what I've been technically doing with how busy I've been. Sorry, I just dropped my pen. I'm not sure if the mic grabbed that, but um, yeah, actually, my pen fell and it fell on the word ALA because I want to mention as soon as possible that I'm going to be speaking at the ALA conference on the last day on the Saturdays. I think it's like the last set conference or panel there is in Chicago. So if you're going to be there, hit me up, let me know. I have a CRM system now, so I can actually track when people contact me and keep in touch with them. Whereas in the last 10 years, the hundreds and hundreds of immigrants I spoke to, I just they give me records. So that's one of the technology things I'm doing. So last year, I was talking to a lot of immigration lawyers who have firms and are growing or have grown, and just trying to pick their brains. And some lawyers, particularly like Ruby Powers, she's great. She has a lot of. I've really become good friends with her and talking with her regularly. I also did a podcast with Lauren Egan last October, and I still haven't uploaded. I'm really sorry, but those two in particular really pushed me to think of a business as a business and seeing what they accomplished and talking with them behind the scenes and stuff. So it's really fascinating and learning from them. And so, when I look at the law firm, I'm like, okay, like I'm just doing a ton of marketing. And then whoever contacts me, I say schedule consultation. If they don't, they just, go out there. I don't follow up, nothing like that. And I'm like, okay, I need to fix that up because we're getting too many leads to just throw away like this. And so setting up a system to like just do the CRM aspect and follow-ups, automations, and tracking has been a full-time job. And especially with the different softwares that we're trying to use and all the errors that they have that they can't fix, it kind of drives you crazy, but it's worth doing and really get into that. I've been doing this for 10 plus years, and I've been having people on the podcast, and I always ask, like, what CRM do you use? Do you like it? Do you use it? And they all say, I don't know. They never said, but it's such an important thing that you have to have. What I suspect is that a lot of people do have it who told me they have it, but they want an answer of why they have it is because they're not using it properly. One of my close friends who has this one software is like, yeah, we only use like 10% of it because the problem is with all technologies, you got to sit and learn it and how to deal with it and set up all your communications and like put your caseload in there, all the information and data. And it's just so time consuming. It's been a full-time job for the last 3 months just doing this kind of stuff, and probably another 3 or 4 months of job doing other case management kind of technology studying to implement in the firm. Once that's done, it should be very powerful. I mean, I give this ability to make many multiples. Dang, I keep dropping my pen, but it'll give us keep multiply the amount of caseload that we can handle and the level of service we could do it. And tracking is really important. All the data points, and just think about what all the different data points for clients are that we could keep and we could use in some form or fashion. And also with our team members, tracking their time, for example, on the caseload they have to see and analyze like where someone may need more help in a certain case that was taking too long, or maybe where is the issue. As for example, all you have same issue, which is document collection from clients and how headache that could be if they send it piecemeal or this and that. And there's different softwares to solve that, and we're going to be testing it out. I mean, internally law firm. Eventually, if I make reports, have time for that, I'll publish out in the toolbox. But these are such important things to be able to just have a uh, handle certain things in the law firm that's just like business, but it's like this should be automated. Figuring out how to keep better track of trust accounting and getting a bookkeeper and stuff, not to waste my time. Just being more cognizant of things that are just wasting my time. I'm getting older, and I'm like, I don't have much time left. I can't be spending time on a checkbook, whatever, for the trust account. I need someone to deal with that. So I don't spend any brain power. When I was 28, maybe I could do that. But now it's like, no, like it's just a waste of time. And there's no need for you to do that. I mean, you got to keep track of your money and stuff like that. But I just encourage you to think about this stuff, how to make your operations better. Even if you're, an associate at a law firm, there's ways to do it for yourself. And listen, if you do a good job and think about this stuff, the employer will see that, and that could lead you into more success in your firm. Or maybe you'll see that this firm is just too small for you. You need to go somewhere bigger and somewhere more successful. In that case, you contact us. If you're that kind of person, you contact John Kasravi. The email I have on the video right now is my firm email. You can email that or info@immigrationlawyerstoolbox.com. You all can. We have courses for marriage-based immigration. It's a great course. It's probably the best one that's out there, going to be out there, because it just is. It's just really full and personable. Having said all that, I'll just leave it out there. I was watching the podcast with Greg Siski, and I said, what, I need to publish some podcasts and put some content out with y'all because I haven't done it in a while. And I get the emails, and I do apologize that it takes me sometimes like a couple months to respond to certain emails. I used to get really frustrated when I would email other people and they would respond to stuff like that, especially other lawyers. I'm like, we're a colleague in the field. Why can't you respond? But it's just overwhelmed and figuring out how to cut down on certain things, systematize certain things, or just give up on certain things right now if you need to. But a lot of it is having help. And for example, if you have an assistant, figuring out what your assistant could do. Because I have a bunch of stuff I'm doing. And sometimes I'll have an assistant. I'll be like, why am I still doing this repetitive task? Like I have an assistant who could streamline and fix it up and just be cognizant of that. It takes sometimes a little more time to do a repeat thing that may be faster to just repeat it. But in the long term, it makes a difference over a year or 2 years or 3 years. So you got to spend more time on certain things to systematize it and make a procedure while keeping it humane. Like we don't want to systematize and make everything too robotic for clients. For example, if they want to get hold of us, like USCIS does when you call the 1-800 hotline and you can't get hold of anybody, or the Ask Emma, or the myuscis.gov, or USCIS.gov case tracking, or the myriad of things that we deal with. We don't want to be that. We want to be away from that. On the other end, I actually went for my annual checkup this morning before this, and the lady handed me a paper, and y'all know when you go to a doctor, a pen, and not a paper, but a pad with a bunch of paper, and it was just marking what allergies I have, this and that. And I finally, for the first time for all these years, made a questionnaire last week that is easy to digest. This is basic biographic information plus inadmissibility questions. But I got that out, and I was like so happy because I've done different softwares that exist for immigration lawyers that have questionnaires, but I just didn't like the user interface of them. This one gets the basic questions very clean, one page in. So I was really happy. And we added some questions because we want to keep track of demographics. For example, we added an education level question to our questionnaires because a lot of our clients are people who go to university and stuff like that. So we want to see. That's my impression because most of my clients are, your F1 student, J1 that gets married to U.S. citizen kind of thing. But one thing I realized now that I've systematized things, I thought my referrals from other lawyers or from other clients was probably like 10 or 15% of my business. Turns out it's like 50% of my business. I'm like, oh, wow. So I keep track of my head. My head is wrong. So these kind of long-term data points. So you got to really systematize for that. So we're going to get track of, income levels, demographics of different kinds. And if we see we're hitting it off, where everyone from Dominican is coming from us, or 20% of our cases, or 30% from the Dominican, I'm like, well, let's just run a campaign or advertising over there if they're liking us that much, because it's coming. It just helps out. Or for example, if there's an earthquake, some country, we can do a search easily for all our clients that have family members, or they have a passport from there, born from there, to send our well regards if there's anything we could do. So for those who have CRMs and stuff, this is like, what is John talking about? This is like pretty basic. But I just went from the Flintstones to the Jetsons in the last 3 months, doing everything by pen and paper at most an Excel sheet. And so that to me is like, whoa, I'm from 1950 and all of a sudden I popped up in 2020. So it's a big deal. And so it's something I should have done 10 years ago. It's like, feel dumb. Like, why did I waste so much time and not? It really goes to the beginning of what I was doing, is like, got to think things through more and do stuff sooner so you don't waste time. Now, with regards to CRMs in particular and other software I'm testing out right now, I had tried other softwares that do stuff. For example, the CRM system I got now, I had previous CRMs, but they're so slow and clunky that for me, just input a matter or connect it with something just wouldn't work. So I gave up on it. Or we have automation. So if someone like contacts us or downloads one of our guides, there's a follow-up that comes. I've went through 4 or 5 different companies, and we're sending out automation with them. The lag time on their websites to load was like every page is like 30 seconds. It would drive me crazy. I just give up on it. If I want to make a small tweak, it'll take forever. But this new system we have right now, I could do that like immediately. There's like no lag time for CRM locating people or for creating automations. And that just changes everything. So it's not that I was like handicapped that much back, but all the stuff I saw was so bad that I gave up on a couple years ago, and then I just reintroduced. So I guess one of those things is, even if stuff is bad, for example, AI right now is growing. I was listening to Greg Siskian right now. I'm like, I got to contact them and see what this AI stuff, Visa AI law, whatever it is about. It's probably going to suck on the first iteration. No offense, just because it's the first iteration of everything. Every time a new car model comes out, as that. But by the second and third one, they'll fix it. I'd rather be in on it from the beginning and grow with it and realize what it is for everyone else, really. So I got to see. Hopefully, it's not too expensive, or I don't know what it is, but I got to contact them to figure out that stuff. And keep posted if you do too, because that at the end of the day, it's like the CRM. It might not be good the first iteration, but second, third, fourth, it could get much better. So I really want to be ahead of that. It could really save a lot of just life. And, that's all about saving life and speaking life. All right, everybody. God bless. Be safe. I'll catch up with y'all soon. Email me at info@immigrationtoolbox.com. Buy courses. Marriage green card course. It's one course really, but it's a full course. Concept processing, adjustment, going into INA, going to CFR, all that kind of stuff. Just hit me up. And if there's other stuff, hit me up too. We're always thinking about different programs that people could connect with, participate with, to get things out. Sorry to all the people who submitted articles for the magazine that I've just been sitting on for a year. Making a magazine is a lot of work. So I've had the great idea a couple days ago of like, might as well do this. Just publish a smaller magazine. It's not 20 articles, it's 5. And then just put that out because it might be faster and easier to do. But I'm always looking for people to help and stuff like that. It'll be free labor, but you'll get recognition. You'll get a lot of money because you'll be on the podcast or articles. You'll be getting business from it. I can't 100% guarantee. I can 99% guarantee that because we have so much ways of pushing people out. Thank you, everybody. Just a great bar that we have, and I look forward to seeing y'all in Chicago. Hit me up if you're going to be there. Bye-bye.